Monday Night Slam Pigs podcast, Great Balls of Fire post show. Michael, what is happening, man? Welcome back to another week. We just watched 3 hours of Raw pay-per-view. Mixing it up this week at your house. All right. And how was week? Welcome back.
Good week. Eventful evening tonight. Not just a pay-per-view, but at my house as well. We also enjoyed some good pizza, a little good eats, some good drinks.
Some good wrestling. I was surprised at how good this show actually was as a whole. But not everything was great. But real quick, Mike, where can everyone check out all the good stuff?
Everyone, check us out at the Hibiki TMD on Twitter, or check me out at Mike the Slam Pig. As always, check out all of the Hibiki TMD branches. Cruise Control, Union, Smack with Matt, Maniac Matt. Make sure to check all of our shit out, including our sister show, The Reset Button with Tannen. As always, we are... Go ahead.
And speaking of sister shows, from Cruise Control himself, Mr. 205 Live, Logan Myers. What's going on, man? Hot off the heels of last night's prediction show. Welcome back, buddy. Episode 1 of your podcast just dropped today. I know you got a lot of stuff to plug and talk about. What's going on, Pallie?
Oh, it's been great. Last night was awesome. I was on fire. Tonight I'm going to be great balls of fire.
Oh, Jesus.
But check me out on Twitter at Logan Myers 144 and check out Future of Wrestling podcast on YouTube and check out our very first episode 1 today.
Our very first episode 1. All right. Was it your second episode 1 or your 8th episode 1?
Anyway, coming off once again, another Pallie hot off the heels from last night's prediction show live. Kristin, Miss Kristin, the first lady of Slam Pigs, we can officially call it now. What's going on? Welcome back. Where can everyone check in?
Thank you for having me. It is me, Kristin, aka Miss March 89 on Twitter. But as Travis said, you can just refer to me as the First Lady of Slam Pigs. You know, the channel that I should have been on originally. But
hey.
I guess I'd be shots fired. Because when someone doesn't treat a lady with respect, there's a reason why I left. My heel turn is confirmed. I left Bear Club. Whether they hear this through this podcast or not, I'm sorry.
Well, Kristin, I don't want to pop anybody's cherry or bubble here, but if you're looking for a podcast that treats ladies with respect, I don't know if this would be the number one go-to, but we will treat you as an equal. We are all about feminism on this podcast. Equal rights for women. We look forward.
Whoa. There's a fine line
between feminism.
Yes.
Yeah, feminism.
Rethink your inks before you say that fucking word on my show again.
I'm just going off of the definition. I'm just going off the definition. Okay? I'm not going off of what it actually is today. I'm going off of what it was created for.
Well, we're saving the best for last.
Because feminism today is just hating men.
I get it. We're saving the best for last, though. Michael, welcome the man back. Hot off the heels from First Thing in the Morning, Kayfabe Today podcast. Our good buddy MTL, Broski, Erica Marge from First Thing in the Morning on YouTube. Get over to check them out. Hit that like and subscribe. Man, thank you so much for doing this last moment. I love to have you back on. How's it going? How was your week?
It's good, man. It's good. It's been very busy, putting a lot of videos up on the channel. Thank you for having me. Always a good time. Hello, Michael. It's good to be on the show with you again.
Hello,
I don't think you were here last
time
I was on. It has been, and I'm glad to be here. Hello, Kristin. Hello, Logan. Very excited to be here and live for everybody.
Maybe live.
Yeah.
Maybe live. I don't know. Are we live?
It's baby live.
We are live. And real quick, Broski, where can everyone check out on Twitter, all that good stuff?
You can find me on Twitter at MTL Broski if you want to, but don't be annoying because I'll tell you to fuck off. Can we swear on here?
He really will.
Yeah, I will. I've told Michael to fuck off a bunch of times. He's told me to fuck off, and then we make up because we're real men and not pussy beta males on the internet. Plus, I'm feeling pretty good tonight because I'm currently beating. There was a poll on Twitter whether you would want to date this woman or go gay for me, and go gay for me. Your humble co-host tonight, Broski, is winning by a landslide, 100% majority.
Jesus,
I'm a winner.
I got to see what this woman looks like first.
She's an old.
Couldn't be the cunt we were talking about earlier tonight, was it?
She's the old redhead, yeah.
In case you're wondering, yes. By the words cunt and fuck, you can cuss on this podcast. This is not PG.
I always forget.
And yes, man, welcome back. And excited was the opposite term in my head going into this pay-per-view tonight. I really wasn't really hyped for anything besides the main event and Braun and Roman.
I was excited, but I didn't want to get overexcited for it because I
knew your expectation.
Yes, I knew the possibilities of this pay-per-view. I thought this had the possibility to be a great pay-per-view, but I didn't want to get overexcited as I have been numerous times in the past and have been numerous times let down.
Well, I'm going to say right here at the beginning of the show, this pay-per-view as a whole didn't disappoint me. I thought it was a good show.
One of the best Raw pay-per-views of the year.
But yeah, the pre-show tonight, obviously, there was speculation we were going to get the Cruiserweight title match with Neville and Tozawa.
Yep, you did.
You did. And for what it's worth, because I know you got some shit to say, Logan, because you're the resident 205 Live guy. But, man, it was a good little match. Some beautiful shots and some stiff shots.
There was actually some good storytelling here.
The Dick Kick City, though, for the win out of nowhere. Yeah. But yeah, I called it. I figured Neville would retain, setting up the rematch. As you saw, there's already tension now with Titus and Tozawa from that vignette afterwards backstage segment.
Yeah.
But Logan, since I will get to you first on this because you watched 205 Live way more than anyone here. What did you? I know you're pissed off. It was on the pre-show. I know you are. So go ahead and say it.
I was pissed off that it was on the kickoff show because it's a championship match. I think every championship should be promoted and it should be on the main card, no matter what it is. Because at the end of the day, the kickoff show, not everybody's going to tune in. Not everyone does. And I think if you really want to take the Cruiserweight division seriously, you don't put them on a damn kickoff show.
Well, Logan, I respect your opinion, but I totally disagree with you, and I will get to why here in a little bit.
Shocker.
But I want, thank you. But I want to get everyone else's opinion before I go there because this is a big topic I want to go into. It's deeper than this match. It's about the whole style of Cruiserweight wrestling. I'm going to go into it after I get the wonderful opinions, firstly, of our First Lady of Slam Pigs. Kristin, what did you think of the Cruiserweight title match on the pre-show?
I hate to sound like a cunt, but that was so fucking predictable. Like, I mean, it's kind of like with Asuka. Like, she's got the title right now in NXT. Would I like to have seen Akira take the title? Of course. But on-mic skills aren't up to par. I like Akira. I was a fan of Neville back in NXT, when I first got to see him, like, in the kind of, like, dark matches and house shows and shit. But, I mean, it's just that whole, the king of the cruiserweights, that gimmick's become kind of stale to me. Like, I would have liked to have seen a change in that title. Call me probably the odd one out, but I was probably one of the few people who wanted to see the title change.
Thank you, Kristin.
I don't know. I'm sure Logan was like, yeah, Neville. Maybe. I don't know.
Logan, I believe, predicted Tozawa to win it tonight. As usual, Logan was wrong, but we have
serious already.
Well, we have
Logan really stepped up his game last night.
Well, we have one more opinion to get before we go there.
Well, fuck me. What about my opinion?
You're after.
I know. Let our guest go.
Can we get our guest
go first? I feel like I'm
first?
being glossed over a
Jesus,
little bit. Give me more of the helmet.
How's it feel? Jesus Christ!
Get the little fucking goddamn.
For fuck's sake, we need to go to our Canadian connection.
By the way, you've been missed.
Thank you. Our Canadian connection, Broski. What'd you think of the Cruiserweight title match?
As far as the match goes, I have no idea because I didn't watch it, which usually happens when the Cruiserweights come on the television screen. I don't really pay too much attention. And in fact, I actually disagree with Kristin. I think that Neville is the only Cruiserweight that actually matters.
Oh, God.
And you know what?
I agree.
I'm gonna piggyback off Broski as usual. I made a career on here doing it, so might as well do it in your fucking opinion. I totally agree. I think Neville is a dominant heel champion for a upstart show is sorely needed when you want to start one because the money's in the chase. The money isn't the chase for the heel to get the face essentially, and I think it's a good call. It's just the problem is everything surrounding Neville's awesomeness as a heel fucking sucks for the most part, except the in ring. Mm-hmm. But I don't know the match.
Well,
I agree with the call.
The title on.
Exactly. I mean,
that's where I was going to go.
There's guys. There are guys credible enough to put the title on. It's how they're going about building them up. You know what I mean, Broski? That's where they're dropping the ball. Yep. It sucks.
Exactly.
I agree.
There's nobody that's been built up to the level that Neville's been built up.
Exactly.
And for him to drop the title to who? Just for the sake of dropping the title, that makes sense.
For Christ's sake, they made Tony Nese change his ring attire because he looked too much like Neville.
I mean, if anybody was going to
Yeah.
be a guy, in my opinion, it would have been Cedric, but they're too busy with asinine fucking Alicia Fox Skype angles and bullshit.
Oh.
It just sucks.
Well, I think
It's so bad.
That's what it was.
I think
it's so sad. That's how I described an angle, but that's the most accurate way to describe that.
If the division lasts long enough,
yeah,
I see Cedric at WrestleMania going for the title. But that's if the division lasts long enough. Now, lastly, but certainly not least, my opinion on this match was it was right where it should have been on this card. Right on the pre-show, because as far as ratings, nobody watches 205 Live from what I've seen in the ratings. Not to discredit your and Logan's show, Cruise Control, but I believe it's been well stated that nobody, and I want to go into this. Excuse me. Smoke another one, Mike.
God.
But I feel like it has more to do with the overall perception of cruiserweight wrestling as opposed to this cruiserweight division. This is my big topic I wanted to go into tonight. I'm glad we got to start it off. I went into a big debate with somebody on Facebook today because I'm a member of a couple of different wrestling groups on Facebook. I pick and choose because there's certain people that I've been friends with for a long time, and they use me as a pump up to try and get their groups, which I don't mind.
Oh, they who use you as prostitutes.
Oh, they use you, huh?
Yeah, well, I don't mind being used sometimes when it's for good purposes. But if it's for wrestling, it's fine. But we went into a big debate today because he was super excited about the Kenny Omega...
Okada?
No, not Okada. Kenny Omega's first U.S. title defense is supposed to be against... God, I can't even think of his fucking name.
One of those guys.
Well, it's another big indie guy, and he was saying how excited he was over this match, and I said, I'm excited for this match as long as it's real wrestling. I said, if it's this stupid acrobatic fucking cheap pop, because I did fucking 2 flips bullshit that I see on the indie scene so much, with no psychology and any kind of knack for storytelling, then I'm not excited about this at all. But if it's actual real wrestling with storytelling where you work somebody's knee for 10 minutes and then they don't do a fucking springboard moonsault 5 seconds later, then yes, I'm excited about it. But and he said, valid point. Where do you see that in today's wrestling? I said, I see it in cruiserweight wrestling. I said, I hate to point out any kind of style, but I blame a lot of it on the lucha style wrestling that started a long time ago, but I believe it was first brought mainstream on television with the WCW cruiserweights. When you saw those guys like Juventud Guerrera, and I know everybody loves this guy, but
they started
Rey Mysterio. I'm sorry, I've never been a big Rey Mysterio fan.
Even in '96.
I'm sorry, he's never had a knack for storytelling. I don't like it. He's just more of a, hi, I can do all these flips, acrobatic kind of, I'm small so I can get beat up and sell stuff.
I'm going to cut you off 2 seconds. Rey Mysterio in 96, 97, he was still from that old school philosophy and that upbringing of the last territory days, quote unquote. Storytelling incorporated mixed in with the high flying. He was one of the best at that. He drew so much sympathy from selling. You know what I mean?
But he also, I think he drew the most sympathy because of his stature, not because of his in-ring work. That's my biggest issue. And my biggest issue, and I believe the cruiserweight division grew very much when you had guys like Jericho, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. Right. They really started with the storytelling in the WCW cruiserweights. But now that you bring it to the WWE and you see all these fans are just jumping off the ship after they gave it a chance for the cruiserweight tournament, and gave it a chance for the first month or so that it was televised, you see them jumping off the bandwagon because more times than not, in cruiserweight style wrestling, you don't see enough storytelling.
I totally agree.
Because I
agree with everything you're saying.
Yes.
But the problem is, at the end of the day, the topic we're saying is, what can they do to fix 205 Live? That philosophy, and I'm just
saying why I agreed with where it was on the card.
I'm saying that, but that's their fault because they're doing this. That's great, and I agree with you. That's not my preferred style to watch. But when it's business and you have a company big enough where there's different styles, we're in an era where there's a niche for every market.
Yeah,
you have to be more open-minded to that if you want this show to be.
I feel like I am.
I'm saying business-wise, if you're booking, you have to understand that there is that crowd that appreciates it. And even if you don't like it, you want to, you know what I mean?
Well, let's get everyone else's opinion. Firstly, let's go to our Canadian connection, Broski. How do you feel about my opinion on the cruiserweights and the style of wrestling?
Well, you mentioned earlier that they need to quote unquote fix it, right? I think a great start to fixing it would be to treat it like an actual show on Raw and not just some 5 to maybe 10 minute, if you're really lucky, time filler, because that's all it is. You get these 3 to 5 minute matches. There's no storytelling. There's no character development. It's just two dudes going in there, flipping around a couple times, and then the match is over. Who the fuck wants to watch that?
Yeah.
Who cares? Why does that make me want to tune into their that specific brand on a different night?
Super
for
athletic
an hour every week.
But does it really invest you? Does it make you emotionally invested?
And it's not any disrespect to the people in the cruiserweight division. I want them to be successful. More success for them means more jobs for wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
But when you're not even when the company presenting it doesn't even treat it like it's a legitimate thing, why should I care?
Because they give us no reason. Their problem was they took something that was organic. It was just a simple vignette match thing with the CWC. Everybody loved this. You don't like cruiserweight that style, Michael, but even you like.
I love the cruiserweight.
That's what it should. They just they overthought
each match told a story.
They fucked up the second when they blurred the lines from a main roster show and just a simple super indie ROH style fucking show, because that's all it ever needs to fucking be. At the end of the day, that's the fucking market you're catering to. That not everything under the WWE umbrella has to be for the mainstream casual fucking fan.
Yes.
They're big enough where they have Raw and SmackDown as it is. You know what I mean? Miss Kristin, what do you think?
Sorry, before we get to her,
some pallies in the chat.
I want to make sure that I get this name because I couldn't think of it. It's Will Ospreay. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Will Ospreay is supposed to be the first opponent for Kenny Omega's IWGP United States title. That was my biggest issue with Will Ospreay. I've seen some Will Ospreay matches.
Well, at the same time, Kenny Omega isn't one of these flippy dippy guys.
But he's a good storyteller. But Will Ospreay to me has never been a great storyteller. That's why I was worried about this
best
match.
friend right now, if he could hear you say that.
Well, I mean, that's a good guy to have on your side if he's feeling good.
Yeah.
But
Kristin, what do you think about all this mess with what they've just slopped around and given to us this half-assed production of a cruiserweight show?
I mean, I'm not for it. I think it needs to go back to the style of how they had fucking CWC. The way they built that up and how they put that product out there was fucking beautiful. Fucking wonderful.
beautiful.
Beautiful, exactly. It was great, and it made you, for those who weren't really into wrestling like that, I kind of use that as, stepping stones to some of my coworkers who I didn't know were into wrestling like that. They were kind of into, Ring of Honor, New Japan, which, no disrespect to them, love Ring of Honor, love New Japan, but this was a way for, I haven't watched WWE in a while. I told them, look, watch the Cruiserweight Classic. I'll even give you fucking access to my network for you to be able to watch it. And, honestly, I think that's the kind of style they should stay with. At this point, the 5 to 10 minute matches, at the very, after SmackDown has gone off the air, for those who don't have the WWE network, aren't getting to see that. So there's one kind of downfall already. But two, I agree. It should be its own kind of show. You've got NXT, you've got fucking Monday Night Raw, you've got SmackDown. Why not do a 205 Live?
And I know, honestly, it gets the guys more exposure. Just get them off Raw, because it comes off like they're piggybacking off a bigger brand. It does them no favors.
Filler. That's what it comes to me as.
Just take
time to take a piss when the cruiserweights come on.
And if you want people to care, don't put it after SmackDown, after the little kid saw John Cena and doesn't care anymore and he's tired, he wants to go home.
Put it on before.
What
are you doing?
It's so just keep it at Full Sail during the NXT tapings. If you're gonna, it's so much cheaper.
Before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
that's why I love living in Florida. NXT tapings.
Before we get
Mr. 205
before we get to yes, exactly, we have Mr. 205 Live himself, Mr. Cruise Control, Logan. I know you might be on the other side of the fence on this one, so I got to have your opinion on this one. How do you feel about the cruiserweight division right now?
To me, 205 Live is really good. In the last month, 205 Live has gotten a lot better. Travis, you know it. We've seen some great matches from Neville, and then one guy that you can't say anything negative about as of late, Rich Swann, for putting on great matches against TJP and Neville.
I did mention that match for Travis tonight. That match they had last week on 205
I agree,
Live.
Logan. They're definitely tightening the screws, it seems a little bit, making the show flow better, on 205 Live. But at the same time, I don't know if it's borderline too little too late, because the cruiserweights, when they come on Raw now, like Michael said, it's kind of like the new Divas match. Go take a pee-pee. You know what I mean? In a way.
Popcorn match.
But continue, Logan.
But I'm not going to give up on it yet, but at the same time, listening to what Michael had to say about it being on the kickoff show, maybe he's right. Maybe this was because Tozawa isn't the biggest threat against Neville, and maybe that tonight was a perfect slot for the Cruiserweight Championship match. But
you said the perfect slot.
Alexa Bliss we'll talk about later. Continue, Logan.
Don't say jokes like that around Logan. He doesn't get it.
But at SummerSlam, I do hope we have a bigger match feel for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, please don't. We just got you back home, Logan. Don't hold your breath on that one.
Jesus. Holy fuck. I thought I was the asshole.
How was that being an asshole?
Jesus.
Come on, Logan.
How dare you?
Oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's right.
I was saying I care about the man, and I don't want him to go back. Anyway, that was that. We'll see where it goes. I'm pretty sure they're gonna.
Did anyone catch the Goldust R-Truth match on the pre-show?
No.
I did not.
Oh, I don't know why that made me laugh.
Missed the fucking Goldust match. Can you believe it? Can you fucking believe it?
Logan, I have a feeling you might have saw it.
Did not happen, but I thought
it didn't happen.
You said that so soft and gentle. That was really nice.
Well, I like to be delicate sometimes. Like to show.
None of us saw it, and you know what? It doesn't matter either way. So let's move right to fuck past Goldust.
I guess it didn't happen, but I like to show my versatility.
Let's kick off the official pay-per-view. Fireworks, explosions, 50s fucking intros, and it's great.
Deuce and Domino, honky tonk man.
Going into this, I think I made a comment to you on our way to your house, whatever. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have this song stuck in my head for the rest of my life because I feel like we're gonna.
Are you gonna think about Rodney Dangerfield like I do? Every time I hear this song, I think of Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, well, but surprisingly, I don't. It's not stuck in my head, so that's a plus.
Ladybugs.
Ladybugs.
Great movie.
I thought that was from Back to School. Anyway, that's on the Rodney cast. We'll save that.
Yeah.
Michael's show kicked off with Mr. 2K18, Seth Rollins, and Bray Wyatt. You know what? I'm going to say it. One of the best matches Bray Wyatt's ever had since he's been in WWE. This match surprised me because the angle's been shit. It has not invested anyone on the show. I can state that for a fact. Nobody gave two shits. But I called it. I'm so glad because Bray was damaged goods, almost borderline
unfixable.
Aside
from the one or two fat guy bumps. He took one or two.
Fat guy bumps
He took one or two lazy fat guy bumps. Like where he was legitimately like, oh, I'm a fucking Humpty Dumpty, let me fall.
I liked it.
Aside from that, this was a good match. For those of you who didn't see it, there were a couple fat guy bumps. It was like fucking one-man gang.
Someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
No, that's fine, man. Anyway, Kristin, what did you think of this match?
I was surprised that it was the first match of the night.
I was as well.
But there, like you said, there wasn't really a build-up to that. Like the storyline, we got Mr. 2K18 and Mr. I'm getting divorced because I ate something other than world. But
hey,
Bray,
Jojo Raleigh.
I mean, I can't be mad at that. She's got fucking an ass for days. But besides,
have you seen his wife? I don't blame him.
Did you guys see that, by the way, in some London tabloid? They put the wrong picture up when it came out. They put up him and his sister.
Yeah.
It was like, what the fuck? That's not her. That makes it a whole different story there, Logies.
God, that's horrible.
What did I come back to?
But
incest.
Incest, apparently.
We were talking about Bray Wyatt fucking his sister.
We're talking about that London tabloid that put the wrong picture up of Bray when the story broke, and they put up him and his sister, Mika Rotundo, and saying it was his wife.
That would have been an improvement. If you'd seen his wife.
I was pleasantly surprised, even though it was the first match of the night. So at first I was like, okay, watch the pre-show. I was like, oh, I'm going to go get something to drink, come back, and networks on my phone, whatever. And I was like, okay. And I hear Bray's music, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is the first match of the night? So I was a little upset about that because I felt it could have been like second or third. But
gotta get that crowd fired up.
But exactly. I have to admit, it was overall a good match. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't like you said, as you referred to it so eloquently, the fat guy bumps. But other than that, it wasn't a bad match.
That's what
I mean, you knew Bray was going to do something. To me, that's not dirty. Like an eye poke, he didn't pull like a fucking
Hulk Hogan did that
Undertaker.
Shit.
Real quick, shout out to our buddy.
Hulk Hogan made a living on the eye rig.
Hey guys, real quick, shout out to our buddy Megan Starr in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, Megan. Appreciate it. Glad to have you.
Big Broski pallie.
But with that being said, I was pleasantly surprised. It was not a bad match. I'll be honest, I didn't expect a good match. Just there wasn't that much hype behind it prior to the match. So I didn't really expect anything like
I mean,
over the
I
top,
think,
but I was pleasantly surprised.
I think in their eyes.
I think there was hype put behind
in their
it,
eyes, right?
but
Like,
nobody
oh my
really.
God, we built this up so well.
But nobody really gave a shit. You're a false prophet.
Well, nobody expected Bay to win.
I don't think Rollins comes out of this damaged as all. I don't think Rollins comes out of this damaged as all. I think it's business as usual for Rollins. I don't think it hurts. Like I said, Bray needed it.
I felt like Bray needed this win more than him, but we could be wrong. Let's go to Logie. Logie Pierogies. What'd you think of this one?
Jesus. Let's just Logie Pierogies.
Logie Pierogies.
Sorry, I'm trying to add a little flavor to Logan.
You be serious. I'm not going to tell you again.
I'm sorry.
I'll be out of here in a second.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go get another beer. Leave me alone.
All right.
No, Michael, don't leave. Don't leave.
He's turning around. Have no fear.
He's like, what?
Don't leave. I want you to hear
empty,
this.
Logan. Make it quick.
This win was well needed for Bray Wyatt, and let me ask you guys something, and this is why I want you to stay, Michael.
All right.
I had a picture of the Bray Wyatt's win-loss tie record, and I want your guys' opinions. After tonight, he has 183 wins, 424 losses, and 10 ties.
Now, is this just on televised shows, or does this count live events?
I think this is all televised.
Okay.
I never understood when people, and no offense, I never understand when anyone brings up stats on wins and losses because it's pro wrestling. It's not football. I mean, at the end of the day, it just depends on what angle and how they're being booked. Like, you could
have that conversation.
Like, for real, Jinder Mahal, point in fucking case.
Yeah, bring up any great heel gimmick. They're going to lose more than they win, most likely,
right?
Because of the way wrestling is booked.
And I agree. I mean, it's interesting to see the stats. I mean, it's shocking how many fucking losses this guy's eaten. Yeah. And as much as he likes to eat, but I'm just saying, like, Jesus Christ, like, I don't know. There was a time as another guy who had a very lackluster win-loss record. Like, maybe, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I don't know. I just never get that, and maybe it's just like blurring their lines or something. Man, Broski, what do you think when people bring up stats and stuff? I mean, do you see that hurting a character in the long run, or you think it's really just irrelevant as far as the wrestling angle?
I don't necessarily think it's irrelevant, but I don't think it's that big of a deal either. I mean, just take Jinder Mahal, like you guys brought up earlier. The guy loses all the time, and now he's the champion. So that alone proves that it really doesn't matter anymore. If you're gonna get worked up about something, get worked up about how little effort they put into their storylines.
I would say he went from a 3-man band to fucking holding the title. So
yeah.
And speaking of the devil, he just came back on SmackDown this week. John Cena's a 16-time champion. He had to lose 15 times. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
But I mean,
like, I know, it really stats don't matter. But Bray Wyatt definitely needed this win, and I called it. I said Bray Wyatt was going to beat Seth Rollins, and I actually had a couple people message me when I talked to them, and they were like, "There's no way Seth Rollins is losing tonight, and it's just because of the video game he's going to win." I'm like, but at the same time, it's not going to hurt Seth Rollins, so why not give Bray Wyatt a win?
Broski, were you surprised? So we can move on past this match. How good this match came off. In my opinion, it was really good. Maybe you hated it. Let's find out.
I was bored the entire time.
Nice.
I didn't care. Yeah, I didn't care. I don't care about a good guy, Seth Rollins. I think he's terrible as a babyface. I have stopped caring about Bray Wyatt for quite some time now, because although stats don't matter, how you perceive someone with a win, as it pertains to a win-loss record, fuck, easy for me to say, does matter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it does matter. If a guy's constantly losing on TV, why am I getting behind him? What motivation do I have?
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't care. Whenever Bray Wyatt's involved, I'm just like, I need to smoke a bowl to understand what the fuck
Thank you so much, because
about.
I believe I made the comment to Travis tonight when I was like, when the fuck did Seth Rollins get so over as a babyface?
Triple H angle.
Well, he was.
They put him over. They should have capitalized when he came right back from injury. That's when they should have done it. You know what I mean?
Well,
at least it would have been organic instead of making him a heel and then showing like this super upbeat, positive documentary about him, like literally right after he comes back.
And other than that, Bray Wyatt won the Elimination Chamber this past year. What other than that in the past year can you remember as a significant win for Bray Wyatt?
I mean, even making a heel win with dirty tactics and not clean is acceptable.
Yes.
Bray Wyatt was just not getting those wins either forever, and it made everyone just like
he
nuts
was
to his
feuding with
character.
the top talent of WWE. They had him with John Cena.
And Rusev's in that role right now, by the way.
Yes.
The old
Rusev,
Bray Wyatt
yes,
role. That's
yes.
exactly where Rusev's at.
They had him with John Cena, Roman Reigns, all these fucking top baby faces. And he couldn't even scratch the surface of a fucking win against these guys. And we're supposed to invest emotionally. And I think he was doing better work back then as far as promo, in-ring, overall work. I thought his work rate was better back then than it is now. I feel like
Did
his
you say
promos...
work rate or work rate? Because I heard rate.
Work rate.
Well, you can hear what you want. You can interpret it how you want. I mean, however you want to take it, it's fine with me.
I mean, I'm sure if you rape enough people, you get better at it.
Yeah, I don't know if rapes really work, but, you know, however you want to interpret it. But regardless, for me, I feel like Bray Wyatt's getting stale, even with his promos that used to be so intriguing and really kind of caught my eye a little bit and my ear. Now it just, to me, feels like the same old fucking mysterious, doesn't make any sense bullshit. And now they're deciding to give him some wins, and it's like, I feel like you guys probably missed the boat on this guy, but okay.
A character that cuts heel promos, that Jake Roberts style,
yeah,
they're always going to stand out.
But Jake Roberts made sense a little bit.
Well, that, and he mixed it up. All his promos, it was like a different novel you're opening. Go back. For all you guys that never heard, like
a story.
Like an 86 heel Jake Roberts promo. Jesus fucking Christ, it is gold. That should be, if I'm running a wrestling school, that's going in my promo class. For real, there it is. But that was that.
He was really dark, but in a subtle way.
Yes. And
Jake Roberts.
And he said things where you're like, yeah, he's right.
And it made Jake Roberts jump off the screen. And I agree, when Bray Wyatt first came in 2013, he jumped off the screen because you hadn't seen a character like that forever. The problem is, it's WWE.
We've seen it now. We've seen the same exact thing now for going on 4 years, and it's starting to get stale.
For all the people, whenever you guys hear someone talk fantasy booking, what guys now would have worked in ECW, Bray Wyatt's the guy you never hear brought up, ever. It's always somebody else. And Bray Wyatt would have been fucking amazing on Raven levels in ECW.
Imagine him and Cactus Jack.
Oh my god!
No, can we not get started on Raven? You're gonna break my heart right now.
I would have booked Bray. I would have booked Bray with Cactus Jack because they're similar size, both kind of creepy. You know what I mean? Both real physical in-ring style. I would have liked it.
That took us next on the card, which 100%. If I was booking this match, this is exactly what I would have done. Michael, Enzo, and Cass. Good.
Enzo and Cass. For those who haven't noticed. Over the past few weeks on Raw, this rivalry has actually intrigued more fans than I thought it would. The fans definitely felt really invested in this match for me, at least the live crowd. I mean, there was some huge Enzo chants during this match. There was a big asshole chant for Cass during this match.
Casshole sign.
Yeah, a casshole sign. Yeah. I mean,
shout out to Honey S. Thompson in the chat and Rad Zero. Thank you guys so much.
Honey S. Thompson, Rad Zero, you fuckers. Thank you for joining. But
and Brad agrees. Bray Wyatt did get stale. His losses took away from his character. He no longer comes off as dominant. He'll be reckoned with. Totally agree, Rad. But sort of backtrack continue, Mike.
Yes,
just want to get that in there.
Back to this feud that is slowly becoming maybe the most emotionally invested feud on Raw. Who would have thunk it? A tag team split is the most emotionally invested storyline on Raw. Maybe aside from Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, but I would even put it up there with that right now.
Braun Strowman and
with
Roman
the way
Reigns
the live,
is just like a shock.
Yeah, it's physical. But this rivalry here, I'm very shocked at how big it's gotten over because as adamantly opposed as I was to this happening. It's no secret that I was a big fan of this team. A lot of people don't like that I'm a big fan of this team, but
I love this team, so high five to that.
It's to me, they were entertaining, and I felt like they did what they were supposed to do in tag team wrestling, which is catch your eye, make you want to win as baby faces, and invest you in what they're going to do next, whether they win or lose. This team always made me wonder what's next for them.
We never got to see that side of them.
We never did, which was why I was so upset with them being broken up right now.
Yeah.
But the way they're doing this, at least, I don't know if this is. I don't want to give too much credit to WWE on this because I feel like that most of the credit should go to these two guys. And it's not just Enzo, okay? Yeah. I know the crowd loves Enzo.
Prime Time literally had the same angle, and it fucking sucked.
Yes, but
because it was Prime Time.
And I love Enzo on the mic, and we all know he's limited in the ring, but the guy that's supposed to be pushed in this angle is Big Cass. And I feel like he's more than done his part on the microphone, which is what I was concerned with.
I agree.
And he's more than done his part on the microphone. I thought his promos the past few weeks have been on point.
At least he didn't have a plain black t-shirt.
Yeah, tonight. He just didn't wear one.
At least he had some new gear and some new music.
But this
I thought
he
was just gonna attack Enzo from behind her
because
they didn't have music.
I feel like this was done the way it was supposed to be done, but I feel like in the end, I still feel like as much as they're trying to bury Enzo, I don't know if it can be done right now. As over as he is, I even made an off-the-wall reference, and I know it might be over the top.
If they're trying to bury Enzo, I think you're misconstruing
and looking forward too much. Maybe I'm being too.
You are, I think. You're
optimistic, but I can see some starters of like some DB shit here, some Daniel Bryan shit where the crowd is so behind Enzo right now.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Look at that.
I agree with you.
I'm just saying the crowd seems so much into Enzo that he doesn't even have to be great in the ring. But this guy is somebody that you just want to root for. He's that dude that talks shit, gets his ass kicked, but he keeps coming back for more. And it's so much more intriguing to me than Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was always that in-ring talent that was so technical and so skilled. But on the microphone, he was kind of like,
This, Enzo could be a mixture of Daniel Bryan and Steve Austin because he's like the common man off the streets, but he can't really work that well. But he has that overness.
There's just something about this guy that just screams.
Well, what are our guests think
He's got the it factor. And I want to go to the First Lady of Wrestling, Kristin. Let's get your opinion
all of wrestling now. You just labeled it wrestling.
That's right. Elizabeth's dead. You're the new Elizabeth.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
See, we give some respect to women.
Are you going to mention Bret Hart falling off a bike next, like our good buddy Broski?
Oh, Jesus.
No, we'll get
we're not going to.
Again? Did he have another stroke?
He did not have another stroke, no.
I was going to say, that's how he had his first one.
Go ahead, Kristin.
Sorry, I read the book.
For laughing at that, but
I love that we're all laughing at Bret Hart's stroke.
Jesus,
by the way.
I wasn't
laughing. Or we're laughing at the possibility.
I'm the only one that wasn't laughing about that. Jesus. Ignorant.
No, you were talking to somebody who on his own podcast said yesterday that Bret Hart was never the same after he took a tumble off his motorcycle. So, of course I'm laughing at that. I'm a terrible person.
I was gonna say I'm no fucking lady, but that's besides the point.
All right, hey, the first bitch of wrestling, is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Now she's like ODB or something. Continue, Kristin.
But with that being said, I mean, we kind of saw this coming. Like, of course, everyone behind Enzo. I would have loved to have seen Enzo win, but WWE, Vince has a fucking hard-on for big guys. Fucking Biggie, Cass, or as he was referred to with the fucking camera guy, Big Ass, because conveniently he was standing right in front of the C, but
if your name starts with Big, you're gonna get over with Vince.
Big Show,
Big Dick
Johnson.
Christ.
But I mean, it was kind of predictable. Like, the whole speech, of course, everyone's like, yeah, Enzo, of course, and you want him to win. He's a fucking underdog. I don't know if I can agree with you with the whole Daniel Bryan comments yet.
That's fine.
Just yet. Do I see people getting behind him? Absolutely. Do I see him getting the hype of Daniel Bryan? Not quite yet. With time? Perhaps. I don't see that quite yet, though. But I would have loved to have seen the underdog win. I do. I root for the underdogs when it comes to matches. But I just knew, like I stated, Vince has a fucking hard-on for big guys. Like fucking Roman, Cena, fucking Big Cass, Big Show, Biggie. Any of the bigger guys
Whatever,
in the company.
Kristin, you know you love them big guys.
Give him a push. Whoa, no.
I don't know, Logan, and I agree to an extent, I guess, because I think as far as the big guy thing, especially with Michael over here saying, like, if he has big in his name. No, like, none of the Big John Studd, none of those guys, they were never the guy. Maybe the big dog.
They were pushed pretty fucking well, though, weren't they?
Big John Studd?
He was in that match with Andre the Giant.
Yeah, but he was never a world title. I don't know. Anyway. Big Show.
Big Show. I mean, come on.
I'm just thinking of all wrestlers named Big now. Big T.
Big E.
Big T when Ahmed Johnson went to WCW, Harlem Heat 2000.
So that's WCW. Doesn't count. Vince was in control.
Logan, what do you coming away from how they booked this match? Do you think this hurt Enzo in the long run, or it's going to lead to making the feud better?
Your overall thoughts on the feud, Logan?
Honestly, I think you know what my pick was last night, Travis. I thought
you booked
Enzo was going to actually.
Wrong again.
I thought he was going to upset. I thought he was going to upset Big Cass, and it did not happen. It wasn't what I expected, but it was something that I'm not against. Everybody has said it. Big Cass is the star here, and this victory showcases what they really think about Enzo Amore. Or I don't buy into thinking Vince doesn't see money signs in both men, because just a long-term main event status, Big Cass is the focus point and the focal point. And I think just listening to his promo on Raw Talk after the pay-per-view, he thinks he's the only guy that can defeat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Champion.
Oh, sorry.
Last but certainly not least, Broski, what are your thoughts on this feud?
Let's see.
Every time he gets me, I'm sorry.
That exasperated sigh. He's like,
just don't say
well, no, you
seconds.
Actually might be surprised, because I used to really like watching Enzo Amore get his head kicked off. That was part of Raw that I really enjoyed.
I remember you saying that
every week. And then a strange thing happened. He cried in the ring, and I was like, damn, that's some good acting.
Yeah.
That comes from deep down inside, and it made me a fan of his. Slowly. I was like, God damn, there's some fucking dedication to your craft right there, Enzo Amore. All right, I'll give you a chance.
Tier. Yeah.
But do I think his
the one single gangster tier?
Yeah, exactly. Do I think his fate tonight was the right one? Yes, absolutely. This builds up so much sympathy for him. So much sympathy. He got his fucking ass kicked.
They gave him nothing, which was beautiful, and it worked,
That's exactly how it should have happened. Because when he comes back with all kinds of fire, and he eventually gets that win back, if he does, they'll probably face off on Raw tomorrow, so 50-50 booking says that he will.
With a schoolboy.
I'm a lot more invested in this feud than I thought it would be, to the point where it's like been one of the focal points of my Raw experience. Like, that's what I look forward to.
Am I the only one that when they did the whole, oh yeah, you're damn right, I kicked your ass. When Enzo Amore started crying that one little gangster tear down the side of his cheek, fucking Sarah McLachlan in the arms of an angel.
Oh, Jesus.
Like the fucking sad puppy dog commercial.
Uh-oh.
Like, that's all that went through my head.
Fade to black and white.
Oh,
would you stop it? Jesus, I'm not going to tell you again.
I think I was also surprised. I think when this whole angle started, everyone on the show was yucky about it. We thought it was dreadful and lame. But coming out of it, I think we're all surprised how emotionally invested. Because I'll admit it too. Lastly, here, I liked it. And I'm really shocked how much I was into it. Even when the vignette was playing, I was getting hyped. I was like, man.
But the only thing I would change about this, I felt like Enzo's in-ring promo was too long.
Yes,
I felt like I would have definitely cut that back a little bit.
But to his credit, and that speaks to how good he is on a mic. He kept the crowd along. With him.
But other than that, I was so pleasantly surprised at how well the crowd took to this angle, to where I felt like they told WWE, "Hey, we're into this. We're into both of these guys."
And you know what, Broski? So, Big Cass's music kind of reminded me of Dan Severn's theme.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It really did.
Yeah.
What about
I
Doc
never
Rock?
like a theme. I never like the theme the first time I hear it, but it'll eventually grow on me.
It's very generic, but it's
like a creator wrestler tune.
It's what it really is.
Like
they got
music.
It really is. It's like Vacant 3 on your WWE
Vacant
game.
3, yeah.
Yes.
Well, Dean Ambrose's music is from WWE 2K, the one with CM Punk on the cover.
13.
2K12.
One of 12.
Yeah, I think it was 12 or 13.
12,
the Attitude Era one, right? I believe.
Yeah. That was my music for my creator wrestler, and then Dean Ambrose debuts with that music after the Shield broke up, and I'm like, what the fuck? How lazy do you have to be?
I always loved.
They just went to
Go ahead. Sorry.
It just shows they had no faith in him. What music should we get, Vince? I don't care. Give him one from the video game. Pow.
Jesus Christ.
He just sees sees one of his fucking employees.
Well,
in
he
the
doesn't
office
like to
playing
waste
it.
money. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's shelling out money left and right.
I always love when they create a wrestler themes. They always have, and I think it's the same one, that Bob Backlund presidential theme is in there.
Yes.
Because then I can make Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Broski, did that take us to the tag team? I forgot it was an Iron Man match going in.
Well, Broski, I wanted to get your opinion. How over do you think these two guys are right now?
Enzo and Cass?
Yeah.
I think WWE thinks that Cass is going to be the bigger star, but judging from reaction, Enzo has a shot at it. It all depends. If they can't make him just a loser all the time. He can't just start losing. He has to eventually get one up on Big Cass. And if they do that,
seems like he screams the it factor.
I think he should call him.
He has so much.
It seems like he screams the it factor.
Yeah, and he has a lot of upside. I think size-wise, he obviously doesn't have as much upside as Cass does, but personality can make up for size. And
does that matter in today's WWE?
No, I don't think so. I really, really don't. And I think that if they let Enzo just be Enzo, he's got a real shot at making a lot of money.
He's only going to get better in the ring. The more you put him in there.
Yep. Experience, man. It's the best way.
I mean, if the crowd still stays emotionally invested in what he's doing, I can see. I know it might be over the top, but I can see DB status for this guy.
We'll see.
I could be wrong, but it wouldn't be the first time.
Before we get to the Iron Man tag match, real quick, Logan, 2 cents. Do you think we all had it backwards going into this? We all thinking maybe Cass was going to be the star, but coming out of it, it's going to be Enzo coming out. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they're both.
I think both of them come out somehow, some way.
I hate to say someone has to be a Jannetty because it always happens that way so much.
What a safe answer. You got to pick one.
Someone has to be a Jannetty.
Who's your Jannetty, Logan?
Yeah, who's your Jannetty, Logan?
Of course, Big Cass is going to have. He's going to be the focal point out of the two.
You were going to say he was the Jannetty.
But on the. Like I said in the promo that he cut on Raw Talk after the show, he's trying to move on already, and I'm wondering if this was just a one and done type match and feud.
No, I think there's money in it. I think they're going to go for longer than one match. Honestly,
yeah, definitely. I would call him an 80 at SummerSlam or somewhere down the line. It's got to be in a street fight with Enzo going over if you're going to move the feud along after that. And then maybe if you can even bring it back to that, possibly around WrestleMania season, when they finally go away to a different feud. Say they put Enzo in a title match and Cass costs him in the long run and then just springboards into like a cage match or some stipulation.
Yeah.
Or you're going to Steamboat Flair it.
Maybe have them split ways for a while.
Split off and then come back together.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, okay, Iron Man tag team title match. Like I said, I forgot it was an Iron Man tag team. And Michael, you and I, we're not big fans of Iron Man matches. A lot of people don't know that.
No,
we kind of fucking hate them because we don't like to know how long a match is going in. It kind of takes away.
Yeah.
And it's especially to see that fucking counter the entire match. You know what I mean? For us, we can't speak for everyone.
I felt like the first Iron Man
match.
But
even when we were kids, we didn't really like the Iron Man match.
The first Iron Man match was good because you didn't have that counter there the whole fucking time.
They'd take it out.
Every few minutes, they'd put it back up there. But now, especially in a fucking tag team match, do I need a goddamn tag team Iron Man match? No, I don't.
But
I don't fucking like it. I don't want to see tag teams in there for every half hour when I know they're going to be in there for every half hour. Because bullshit. If they're going to be in there for that long, I want to know that there's going to be a fucking story told.
Easy, Jim.
Jesus.
Don't make me break out my whip. Cut.
I was going to say, coming out of this, I really enjoyed the match. Calm down on him. God. Broski was trying to talk. Let's let the man say what he wants to say.
Sorry.
Calm it down.
Fuck.
No, I was just gonna say I love that you're getting so angry about the timer because I fucking love the timer.
Oh God.
You would.
I was sitting there and I was sitting there. I was like, oh, it's nice to know how much time I have to invest in this and how much I have left to go. It's really I don't know. I was like, okay, if there's 15 minutes left, I can get up, make a sandwich, maybe have a quick snack. You know, and I just I don't know. I guess I'm the polar opposite of you.
We'll give them a break.
Jesus, what kind of hoagies they eat up there in Canada?
What's a hoagie?
Sub.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, a
what's
sub.
hoagie?
He's Canadian. Give him a fucking break.
Yeah, because we
Do
call
they eat
things.
bologna up there? Is it Canadian bologna?
You,
No, it's
Bologna.
Broski, would you
baloney.
say your favorite Iron Man match was Brock and Kurt going into this, or Shawn and Brett from what we've seen in the history of these matches?
Austin and Brett. That was an Iron Man match, right?
No, that was a submission match.
Oh yeah, the submission.
Oh, was it?
That was WrestleMania 13.
I kind of like
I'm
Kurt and
old.
Brock better than Brett and Shawn.
I actually liked Kurt and Brock as well, but I still like Brett and Shawn. I don't think.
I'm gonna have to.
That would have to still be my favorite.
My problem with Iron Man matches, and
I wish it would only been a half hour for them. I feel like a lot of the luster gets taken out for them because it was an hour.
I think the problem with Iron Man matches, there's never been a lopsided one. They're always predictable that it's going to be down to the wire.
Close.
There's like they've. I think sometimes they should just have.
We'll have Enzo and Cass do an Iron Man match.
It would piss off fans. What a shock! Fans would be pissed, but what else is new?
When Cesaro and when Cesaro and Sheamus went up real quick, like it was like what 10 seconds, and they were already up. No, not their feud. I mean tonight's match.
Oh, at the very beginning.
Yeah, like they got that first. Yeah, they got that first pinfall at like what in the first 15 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it went up 2-0. I was like, all right, they might be doing something different. Like they're really going to put Sheamus and Cesaro over, and no, it's not. Nope, same old. I still enjoyed the match, but go ahead, Logan.
I have to agree with everybody, but I think this was match of the night for me. This was indeed a great match, and another long-term question that just keeps rolling in my head. Who is Cesaro and Sheamus going to feud with now?
Dead silence because
who is there? Silence.
There is nobody.
Wasn't expecting.
It's vacant.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting a great question to come from Logan.
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
Shade.
Fuck.
Michael's a shady bitch.
Hey now. Hey.
I mean,
it takes one to know one there, first bitch of wrestling.
I like how her nickname keeps evolving.
That's right.
You got the Revival there.
At least we let her talk.
Know. I don't fucking know because
the Revival. Why is the Revival not on TV?
I don't know. We're left with a bunch of heel teams now. That's what we got. I
think the Revival. Oh, that's right. Everybody's a heel.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
I love the Revival.
Unless they do.
I've been called the Revival
match
for fucking 2 years.
I mean, we all have. But at the end of the day, it's like nobody can help an injury. It sucked. The Revival had to go off TV as soon as it came on, but they've been back. They just
is anybody on that team perhaps having sex with a top diva?
You know what I think they're gonna do? I think Cesaro and Sheamus, especially having Cesaro on your team, I think they're still capable of being over enough to flip them babyface because they still have fans. You hear them. I'm enjoying the team. I don't hate the team. I think it'd be easy to flip them again.
Cesaro is tough to boo.
I know they just did flip them guys and turned them heel, but it's WWE.
Sheamus is not tough to boo,
anyway,
but Cesaro is tough to boo.
I don't know. Then you could do the Revival's heels against them as babyfaces and have them take it off them.
Can we try the Revival maybe as babyfaces? Has that been done?
No.
I don't know.
No.
They don't have to be fucking British Bulldog baby faces, but Christ.
I don't know.
They don't have to come out with a goddamn Revival dog or anything, but Jesus.
Well, it just be like a little fucking mix of trailer park dog.
Christ. You can just come out with this fucking homeless dog that they found off on the street that can make them baby faces.
I miss Pepper. That was sad.
Oh, don't bring up Pepper. What the?
I know, right?
Wow.
Way to go, Michael. You fuckface.
Oh, now it's all my fucking fault.
Kristin.
Jesus Christ.
What? I like the match. Did you like the tag team Iron Man match?
I did, actually. I don't know if I want to call it match of the night. It was very, very... That whole fucking, like, 15, 17, however many fucking seconds into the match, that was fuck shit. I'm sorry. Like, what was that?
Fuck shit.
What was that?
That's another thing that's like a staple in these and make them predictable. There's always like a quick squash you'd never see in any other fucking match that never ever fucking happens unless it's Lana.
Yeah. Touche. That's another topic. But it was a good match, but it did get exciting at first because then it was 3, it was 2-2 and then 3-2 and then 3-3 and you're like, okay, they may actually let the Hardy Boys get over tonight. And then right there at the last fucking second. I mean, it was very predictable. You knew they weren't going to let the fucking titles drop quite that fast, but it did. It fucked me off royally like that. I'm a Hardy Boys, meeting Matt and Jeff Hardy as a child, like, that was my whole fucking thing. I wanted them to win, like, so bad, just because not that they don't deserve it, but, I mean, who's to say how much longer they've got? I mean, Jeff is what, like 42, 43? Or no, Jeff is about to be 40. Matt's like 42 or 43. Like, they're not young spring chickens. Like, granted, Sheamus and Cesaro are fucking 36 and 39.
Nature Boy Paul Lee's out there getting it. I'm pretty sure Hardy could get it at that age.
True. I mean, he doesn't look bad. They don't look bad for their age. I'm going to say they could be worse for wear. They could have fucking...
Why does Matt take such tiny steps? Does anybody ever wonder that when he's running in the ring? He takes like little tiny steps.
He has Achilles heels, man. Give him a break.
I mean, I have bad heels too, but I don't run like I'm 3 feet tall.
The best was at WrestleMania.
That's my biggest issue with Matt Hardy in the ring. He looks awkward sometimes.
The best was at WrestleMania when he was trotting down that ramp.
Oh my God, the trot of eternity that lasted 18 fucking pay-per-views.
It doesn't look like the man could ever put his knees together.
Matt Hardy's trot seemed forever at Mania, and it made the Undertaker seem like an Ultimate Warrior inches. It took that long in my mind.
Yeah, but in Matt Hardy's defense, they started the Undertaker like midway. So.
Just on to what Kristen said. Jeff Hardy is 39 and Matt Hardy is 42.
He will, yeah.
Statcaster there, Logan.
Jeff will be 40 August 31st.
I think they got a good amount. I think.
Are you looking at your Jeff Hardy poster right now?
Jesus.
No.
You're like, Jeff Hardy is gonna be 40.
She's only she's only lit 8 candles for him tonight, guys.
I'm looking at my Alexa Bliss poster right now.
I'm sure.
That is a sweet ass.
Do you still sleep with that sweet Leva Bates 8x10 or whatever?
Yes, I do.
Oh, fucker! I want it.
She wrote my name. She wrote my name.
Is she going to be in the women's tournament?
Have they announced?
She better fucking be.
How do you not put Leva Bates in a tournament like that?
If she's not in it, I'm not watching. I refuse.
Wow. Is she Canadian?
No, I just really like her. Oh. I don't even know why. I just do. It's like she's like the opposite of Becky Lynch.
Because she's got piercings and stuff?
I think, my opinion, she comes off as like a muse.
She doesn't.
Like, she's this weird, sexy video game pro wrestling nerd goddess, like the ultimate muse, what you would want, at least what I would want. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like under godlike circumstances, I'd have a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, she's been down here in Florida lately, so...
Well, I mean, I know I'd have a shot, but fuck.
I was going to say, she's been the last couple of indie events that I've gone to for a wrestling promotion down here. Atomic World Wrestling. Leva Bates has been facing off, like she's faced. This last match she had was against Amber Nova. The match before that, the month prior, was Mia Yim, who used to be...
Yum.
TNA Jade.
Jade, thank you. I mean, she's been doing really good down here.
I like to call her Yum.
Yum. Yum.
Yum.
But no, she's been really good. Like, I kind of hope that,
love
I would
me
be
some
okay.
Jade.
Michael, from all of us here at Slam Pigs, we love you, Leva. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
More La Parka cosplays, please.
You need to put her in. You need to put her name in the tags so if she vanity searches on YouTube, she'll find this.
God, she's not Izzy's mom, for fuck's sake.
Update! Haven't had you back since that, by the way. Izzy went fucking heel.
That's right.
Pulled an Unsolved Mysteries on the show for her. Man, hilarious. What can you say? Anyway, tag team tournament. I don't know who we didn't get to. Did we get to you, Broski? What you thought of the match? I can't remember. We were talking about Leva Bates and La Parka.
Got completely off topic.
Well, I thought until the finish of the Braun Strowman Roman Reigns match,
we're not there yet.
No, I know. That's why I didn't say what the finish was. So you're talking to a pro.
All right, sorry.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Here we go.
I get excited.
No, but until the finish that I won't talk about until later, Mike. This was my match of the night. But the finish of the next match was so good. So good. I can't wait to talk about it. So, yeah, this was a good match, but I want to talk about the ambulance match. So we can move on whenever you're ready.
It's not the next match anyway.
Was it?
That's why I
Oh,
said
women.
we can
The
move on
Intercontinental
whenever you're
match is
ready.
next.
Oh, Dean Ambrose, who cares?
Hey,
Oh,
now.
Jesus.
I'm on the same philosophy.
The Miz was in that
I
match.
gave 2 shits
That's
about this
true.
match, and the crowd gave 2 shits less. The most dead the
Yep.
audience was all night was for this. By the
Yep.
way, I got to shout out Bo Dallas. I thought Axl Rose was out there. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, he looked.
I thought he
Oh,
looked
his
like a
one
fucking
glove-
idiot.
His one
I
glove
thought he looked like a
shit.
fucking moron.
Did it fit?
No, it looked like someone introduced Bo Dallas to hallucinogenics for the first time.
Yeah, he looked like
Yeah.
a
He's on
fucking
some
moron.
fishing
On his
quest
way to
and his
Burning
ass
Man and fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Did someone
on
tell
a vision
him
quest.
that he's supposed to be with a Hollywood star gimmick? And he was like, well, let's see what I can do here to fuck up his gimmick the most.
Well, they went like Axl.
Well-
Axl's the movie star. This guy, he's the rock.
And then no, like Axel is the movie star, and then Bo Dallas is like the failed movie star who failed because he has a raging cocaine addiction.
Yep.
I was waiting for him to have that fucking that saggy earring that came down like 3 feet.
He's got a behind the music about him and cocaine
Jesus.
addiction, and he's
I was waiting
Oh,
for
my
it.
Yeah.
God.
I was waiting for him to have that like Walter Payton like saggy
And,
earring.
You know, you're the biggest Miz guy on the show, and I'm pretty
Yes.
sure you didn't give 2 fucks about this match.
I didn't
really.
get. I could tell that the crowd was dead for this match. That was for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
And I believe we skipped over the women's match.
Well, we'll get there after
We
this
did.
because I don't want to
But-
spend a lot of time on this match first. I didn't
but-
care.
But the
Think
Miz
any of
the
us
Miz
did.
Ambrose match I felt lost its luster about a month ago. Felt like this feud has gone on way too long because it's just like, oh, we're gonna have something for Miz and Ambrose to do. They're gonna feud again that we've already seen last year for fucking 4 months.
Order 6 grandfather
Yeah.
clocks.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, and you just ruined it with LeVar Ball. I mean, that's all it takes is.
But at the end of the day,
it-
looking. Go ahead, Bruce.
It was ruined a long time before that. This is a feud that is a copy of what not like segment for segment, but it's the same thing they did on SmackDown. They
Does
brought it
anyone
over to
care
Raw.
about Dean Ambrose?
No.
Stop cutting people off.
I'm
Let
sorry.
the man talk. What are
I'm
you
sorry.
doing? What are you doing?
Sorry, I have.
I
I'll be out of here in a second.
I have something come to my brain, and I don't have that filter to my mouth. I'm sorry.
That's why I love you. Don't worry about it. It's,
It all worked
it's
out.
fine. It's fine. And no, to answer your question, no. I haven't cared about Dean Ambrose since the Shield broke up. And he started being a fucking goofy retard who does suicide dives like he just can't be bothered to do them. It's just like, That's the sound I make every time I see Dean Ambrose do a
You
suicide
make a Stu
dive.
Hart sound, essentially.
He
Yeah,
sells,
it's
he
like-
sells
it's like a-
worse than that guy against fucking Antonio Inoki. The great,
Yeah. Oh shit, what's his name?
Power Udi?
the great,
Not Power Udi.
the great, what the fuck was his name, Travis?
Drawing a blank.
Antonio Inoki, when he shot on that fat guy. What was that fat guy's
I
name?
don't remember. Stop yelling at me about it.
Come on,
I don't-
you should know it.
You have your phone in your hand. You
Jesus.
look up your Inoki stats, and I will cover the potholes.
Come on, Logan, do you know it?
It's my name.
Isn't your name's
His-
Inoki?
Your name's the great Logan?
Logan, what'd you think of the IC title match?
That's a great Logan.
The great
I didn't
Logan
even put
Inoki.
it on my. I didn't even put it on the notepad. That's how much I care.
Good man.
the great
Good man.
Antonio, thank you.
And finally, Miss Kristen, did you give a shit about this match, or were you took a pass?
I'm actually going to be completely and totally honest with it. I actually fell asleep during the match.
Holla. That
Sounds
that
about right.
sums it up. Beautiful explanation of what this match delivered.
You were partying hard at your house, weren't you?
Oh yeah, let me tell you what.
Jesus.
Well, no, who else to better segue this match to than the lady herself tonight, Michael? The women's title match, Raw Women's title. Kristen,
Well, The Miz won this match.
the Miz, okay.
In case you're
The
wondering.
Miz won. That's great. Who cares?
Yeah, nobody
Jesus.
cares. Moving right along.
Fuck. Why does everybody hate The Miz?
I don't hate the Miz. I hate how.
No,
they're
I
doing
love the Miz. I love the Miz. I just hate Ambrose.
I feel
Ambrose
like The
ruins
Miz
everything.
has so much fucking potential in the main event scene.
Do you guys remember at WrestleMania 31? When they had Brock and Roman main event, the Money in the Bank ladder match or Intercontinental title ladder match that Dana Bryan won. Dean Ambrose's entrance, he came off like fucking Steve Austin was walking to that ring. I saw something that night that I have never seen from him again since that. I don't know if the rumors are true. We always hear them
Lazy.
on the dirt sheet. Yes, exactly. What the agents think backstage. I don't know what the fuck's missing. It's
He
just
sounds like the great Antonio.
His psychology, and I've never been trained, so come the fuck at me. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out if you've been in the figure 4 for fucking 5 minutes, you don't climb the top rope.
You think figure out or figure out? Because I swear to God, my brain is clearly in the gutter tonight.
It's deep in the gutter.
Would you get it out of there?
With the word
That's
balls.
my goddamn job on this show, so don't you try to take it.
That was offensive. Are you fucking kidding me?
Don't you ever try and take my job on this show. I'll have you out of here in a second.
Here, snowflakes. All right, I'll beat both y'all with my whip. Keep your shit up.
Kristen, what did you think of the Raw Women's title match? Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss. You know what?
I'll have you out of here like Sarah Palin. Don't fucking make me do it.
Michael, I enjoyed this match. And Kristen, I'm pretty sure you might have enjoyed this match too. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this match. I don't know.
The women's title match was actually pretty good, I thought.
Bullshit. The fucking count out, I get it. It's Alexa. It's a heel turn.
It's to set up a fucking feud for SummerSlam. Jesus. Why does everything have to be fucking finished right now? This is the problem with wrestling. We can't have a goddamn feud last longer than a month.
I think
for fuck's sake.
I mean, we could go like fucking Sasha and Charlotte to just ping pong back and forth.
Have they ping ponged? Yes. Sasha's
I don't think
won
I've
a couple
ever agreed
matches
with Mike
on Raw
more in my life.
But how many title matches have they had?
I think the way that Sasha got her heat back.
Jesus!
For me, I think that made up for the count-out loss because obviously they're going to build to a rematch. At least they did give the baby.
Am I the only one that? I mean, it was a good match. I liked it, of course.
Oh, you liked it now.
Will you stop and let her talk? My God.
Well, you hated it 5 seconds ago. You said, "Oh my God."
We still have the fucking ambulance.
I'm sorry.
match
That's what
to
she
talk about.
said.
We have other things to address, like the main event.
I'm just saying that's what she said.
I do not want to bust
on
a hernia.
A side note, God damn it, Michael! I swear to God, I'm going to hit you with my whip.
You can't hit me with shit.
You want to bet?
Yes. You hit yourself with it, and that turns me on, but it's not going to do anything to me.
But moving right along, am I the only one who kind of would have wanted to see Nia Jax in this match?
Yes. That's for SummerSlam. Triple threat. That's what they're setting up.
Okay, fair enough.
Jesus. Why does everything... See, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take it out on you, Kristen, but it's just when people get... This is the first title match they've had against each other on a pay-per-view, and you expected like a clean finish. And I don't like that. That's what wrestling has become the past few years, and I don't like it. I like storylines that get built up for more than one pay-per-view. It's just something that I like. I like to see maybe some intrigue on this storyline. There was a schmoz finish. Oh, my God. I feel like it's okay sometimes. That's my biggest issue. Why can't they have a schmoz finish on a title match for a pay-per-view? That's how it used to be. That's how wrestling...
Sasha fucking going after the match was fucking beautiful. Double knees to her.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. That was like a vagina to the face.
That wasn't fucking babyface. That's the same shit they did with Roman, but we'll get to that later. If you're supposed to be a fucking babyface, make it make sense. Now, how many times tonight did we see a fucking babyface get pissed because they lost and they went and used heel tactics? Like
twice.
Yeah, it's
twice.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is supposed to be somebody you're supposed to get behind, so they're acting like a little kid that that struck out at the plate in the Little League Championship game.
Alexa's fucking throwing temper tantrums.
Well, I mean,
she's a heel. She's supposed to.
What kind of example is Sasha Banks setting for little girls where she doesn't get her
way and
she just shoves her vagina in some woman's face?
Exactly.
What kind of lesson is that to teach your young ladies growing up?
It's supposed to be your baby face. She shoves her vagina in somebody's face because she lost.
I went away to get some.
What's wrong with that? I take her vagina in my face. Jeez.
Well, whatever you like is you. But Christ. Can't we have one feud that lasts longer than a month today?
Let's move the train along.
No.
Someone that you're always polite to as well, Logan. What did you think of the women's title match?
Okay.
I thought it was a great match, and honestly, I'm all for it. And hey, I gotta say it, and this doesn't happen too often, but Michael's 110% right about
all
this.
The time.
Quit
fucking lying.
Agreeing with Michael?
Holy not only that, but
he
said
agrees
he's 100%.
with me 90% of the time.
You are.
I'm fired up.
Show's come to a halt. What's going on? Logan,
fired up.
Continue. Take a breath. Do you need a beer?
I don't
maybe
have
you
it
should have
anymore.
some coffee.
I need to have another one, but I don't have.
You don't need to have another one, probably.
Oh.
Fired up.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Because I have my own opinion. I don't get to drink.
I don't care.
Mike,
This
you know what
was
happened
right.
last time?
Oh fuck.
This was
Sorry,
the
Logan,
way
you've
to end this match and continue the feud. I think these two will definitely put on a better match than Alexa Bliss and Bailey did, and I'm actually really.
That match was fucking shit.
I could have probably put on a better match than Broski.
God, that fucking match with Bailey and fucking Alexa was fucking shit.
And our angle could have been over like something.
The one in Extreme Rules was shit. The one they had before that I thought was pretty good.
I don't know. It's just I don't feel like those two have a lot of chemistry.
Some people fucking Bailey.
I wish you guys could see the look on his face when he has to even say the word Bailey at this point.
I told you about Bailey before when she got brought up to the main roster. I told you what was gonna fucking happen.
Bailey wasn't on the show. We don't even have to get fired up about that. But Logan, can the man please continue?
I'm sorry,
Logan.
Like to
segue back.
I'm sorry, Logan. Go ahead. You've been polite, waited your turn. Go ahead.
Like I said, I think these two are bound to put on a better match. And at the end of the day, can we say it now? I see Sasha Banks beating her.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh, fuck
See,
you.
You had me until you said that bullshit.
I also.
Logan, I love you.
Finish, Michael. Let me finish, Michael. Sasha Banks will beat Alexa Bliss, but when it comes down to it, at the end of this feud, Alexa Bliss is going to look like 10 times better because she will end up winning it back and showcasing that she is the star of the women's division on Raw.
I'm sorry. Am I the only one that thinks I would rather root for Alexa Bliss as a babyface than I would rather root for Sasha Banks as a babyface?
She's more likable for me.
She's much more likable.
Cash me outside, right, Broski?
Yeah, cash me outside. You goddamn right. That's when I look at
Sasha Banks.
That's what I think.
Sorry, she doesn't look like a babyface. She doesn't act like one.
No, she doesn't, and especially not tonight after the match. I agree with everything that Mike says, even though he's hurting my ears.
Sorry, I get excited.
You guys have no clue.
I'm glad. Like at the beginning of the show, you were a little soft. You were SAWFT, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I always wonder
now you're where you need to be. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. I'm a terrible
pissed
guest.
off.
I always wonder what people walking down the sidewalk of my house think when they hear us ranting. Like, they aren't wrestling fans.
Give a fuck.
And they hear the things we're saying, and it's all
when you're doing your New Jack impression.
Oh my god,
motherfuckers!
Where the white girls at?
That was Michael. That wasn't even me that time. I didn't have to do it. See, I got someone to do it for me.
That was good.
The chat wants Logan.
Chat
wants Logan to talk. They want us to shut up and let Logan talk.
Please continue, Logan.
No, I'm done. I think.
There you go. Fuck you, chat.
No. I just think.
Wait,
I like these two. Sorry. I like to see Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks continue this because I think this is the feud that a lot of people want to see. But long term, is this too early for these two to go?
No, because what else are you gonna do? Anything.
Yeah.
They don't do anything with any of the women. They have a feud and then they disappear, and then like the next woman in line gets her shot, then she either wins.
When's the last time we saw a good secondary feud with women
on Raw at least?
That wasn't for the title.
Yeah.
Other than the last one I can remember is Sasha and Nia.
And that was for like a millisecond. It didn't even last that long.
It didn't matter to anything because Sasha lost that feud, but still has gotten the pay-per-view opportunity because Nia got her opportunity on Raw and won by disqualification.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit because like Nia Jax has everything. She could just hold on. I said on my podcast this week they should give her a Bruno run. Have her kill everyone.
That would be fucking awesome.
Fucking love that,
watch
man.
It. Book it.
I love Nia Jax.
I totally watch it. I fucking love Nia Jax.
Because look, put Nia Jax in the ring with Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, like any of them.
I mean, just the eye test. Just the eye test says Nia Jax should be your fucking champion.
Comes off like an awesome Kong did, like a Bull Nakano. Make Bull Nakano a manager. Anyway.
The only person I could see on Raw.
I know you're going to say it. That's what I'm going to say. But until Asuka gets here eventually, maybe that's what you're going to say. You got to make. Now is the time with Nia to make her that strong because Asuka's coming. You got to have someone credible to go against Asuka. Because who's going to go against Dana fucking Brooke?
Ember Moon is going to be the next coming on NXT.
Ember Moon, though, as much as I love Ember Moon, she's no Asuka.
She's no Asuka, but they have to bring Asuka.
They are.
They can't wait forever just because there's nobody there to fucking hold the title.
I think this fall we see Asuka, personally, possibly. But
I would love to see Asuka by the Rumble.
After SummerSlam.
By the Rumble, you will see Asuka, hopefully.
Broski, where did you see this feud go tomorrow night on Raw with the women, the ladies? Rinse and repeat, like you were saying, pretty much, or?
Yep. Because of the way the match finished, Sasha Banks is gonna get another shot. They're gonna make this I get it. And the ending of this match made sense because they're gonna keep going with this. It's obvious, so it makes sense. I couldn't possibly care less until Nia Jax gets put into the main event scene. I'm not really gonna care because it's just a merry-go-round and everybody gets their shot and then they disappear for a while and there's no substance to the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
There's like your main focus, and then everybody else is just chilling and catering until it's their turn to be on TV.
Exactly.
It's like, oh wait, it's my turn now. Okay.
So I'm supposed to get invested in someone for 3 to 4 weeks, and then not see them for 2 months, and then when they come back, be like, oh yeah, you're back. Yeah, it's like the Zack.
For 2 months, but
it's like the Zack Ryder effect. They gave him a huge push, he got over, and then he just disappeared, and then never really recovered. And that's what they do with their entire roster. There are no stars because they don't let anybody fucking shine for more than 3 to 4 weeks.
Hey, now there's Roman Reigns.
Honestly, I can't say I disagree with that.
Go ahead, Chris.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Now you can have your turn, Kristen.
They even Steven everything, and that's the problem with their booking.
I said Kristen can have her turn. Stop talking.
I was just going to throw that in there for a second.
Wait, I'm so confused. What am I supposed to be talking about?
I thought you wanted to say something about the ladies' title match.
No.
I thought you had said something.
Other than the fact that I would love to see Ember Moon or Asuka get called up as soon as possible, but no.
Ember Moon can wait.
And who knows, guys, from this women's tournament, who they'll snatch up from it. You know what I mean? So hopefully they know what they've done to the Raw women's division and how they just cannibalized it with bullshit, and they fix that in the future. We can only hope.
Logan, the company is, so hopefully they'll fix it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Before we get to Logan.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a point. At what point with NXT can we get to the point where we say, okay, we don't have to bring up people every fucking year?
Totally agree. It should never be expected the night after WrestleMania. It should not be a tradition for a call-up. Eventually
it's just going to create a giant cluttered roster. So at what point do we...
They did it to themselves by hyping up the Raw after Mania all the time. Ever since that one Raw after Mania when the crowd took over. It's like, well, it's crazy and anything can happen, which basically means
so that's what I'm saying.
Title change. There's going to be a title change and there's going to be people coming up.
Someone's going to get called up, right?
So you better watch.
At what point can we expect NXT to not have somebody called up every fucking year?
I just hope they learn their lesson. That's all we could do.
Especially with the women's division, because I feel like the women's division is the most...
Everything is so formulaic. They find something that works, and then they just keep doing the same fucking thing over and over again. And then they wonder why people get bored.
I feel like right now the NXT roster is as dwindled as it's been in a very long time.
Depleted?
Aside from Bobby Roode and maybe one or two others, Asuka included, this NXT roster, do you really see a whole lot of people that you could see being called up and could be formidable stars on the main roster after WrestleMania?
Yeah, I totally do. I think the Authors of Pain should be there now. They need them desperately. They are a fucking awesome team.
Okay, that's one tag team.
What about Sanity?
Can I take a breath, guys? Can I take a breath and maybe talk about... Give me 2 seconds.
I think Sanity is crap.
I think there's a lot of guys. I think Almas is criminally underrated and underused right now. That lazy party boy gimmick with what he could do in the ring, there's something to that.
He's cruiserweight written all over him.
I don't know. I don't think so. Not for me. I don't.
Yep.
Alistair Black, obviously. Thank you, Logan.
Alistair Black,
Alistair
cruiserweight,
Black.
written all over him.
No, he's really
He's 200 pounds.
CM Punk. 434
I'm just
fucking
saying,
days.
Alistair
205
Black.
Live featuring
Alistair
CM Punk. Book it because he would have been in the cruiserweight.
Alistair
division.
Black
Sometime.
to me
Finn
is,
Balor. Why isn't he on fucking 205
I'm just
Live?
saying,
Oh,
Alistair Black
right.
to me is so vanilla. I'm sorry. He does not strike me.
I haven't seen enough to make me get on the bandwagon. I totally agree. They're not.
Every time I see him, it doesn't interest me. I see him a lot. I watch NXT every week. I watch it every week because I do enjoy the show. Alistair Black, to me, just screams vanilla. Okay. That's it.
Fine. Next time I see him at an NXT event, I'll get him to shout out Slam Pigs. Will that make you happy, Michael?
I don't give a shit if you get him to shout out Slam Pig. It's not going to make me like him more. Just because he gives me a cheap fucking plug is not... I'm not that guy, okay? You'll learn that soon. My opinion will stay my fucking opinion, whether you get them to shout me out or not. I don't give two fucking shits if somebody likes me or not. Okay? If you haven't learned that by now, you don't belong on this goddamn show.
Logan, ambulance match, the big dog, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. What did you think? You know what?
Alistair Black fucking sucks. I don't like him.
Can I
Sorry.
Can I please say?
I don't like him. I'm sorry. I think he's vanilla. I think he's fucking generic. I don't like it.
They need to do more.
He looks like Hakushi, except with tattoos.
Can we leave
with,
it at
American
has
eyes.
potential?
I'm
has
sorry.
Potential.
He reminds me of Hakushi, except American.
Make him like Ming. Give him an afro. Let him just tear through the fucking roster.
I do a reverse thrust kick for my finisher. It's awesome.
You know what? I saw it as soon as the match happened with the ambulance match with Roman and Braun Logan. I saw the critics out with the pitchforks immediately. I like this. You know what the fuck I like this? Because the same people that are complaining about this love when Austin drove a Zamboni to the ring. Loved that kind of shit. And I thought, yes, it's hokey, but when executed well, this can work. At least they did it in Hollywood Hogan and the Rocket, where you never saw The Rock, and he was there 2 weeks later. At least they went out of their way to make Braun look fucked up. Braun sold that well. I know you're looking at me like you want to kill me. Let me finish, because obviously you're going to fucking disagree. I wish you guys could see the look I'm getting right now. But I liked it, Michael. Fuck you.
No.
You say what you want to say.
Nope.
Because I know you're going to yell at me like you have all fucking show.
Let's take it to Logan first.
All right. Go ahead,
we
Logan.
already got one shitty opinion. Let's get another one.
Oh, come on, Michael. Seriously, I'm getting so sick and tired of everybody booing or criticizing Roman Reigns.
Are you?
What, Michael?
I was just wondering, are you that sick of it?
Are you being serious? I'm not.
I am. Again. Starting to.
You're 2 seconds from fucking leaving.
He's starting to really. I always get interrupted.
I love it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Logan. It's Travis's fault. He's a dick.
Do you want a sandwich?
No, I don't want a goddamn sandwich.
I'm gonna put some turkey.
Do I look like Balls Mahoney? I don't want a fucking sandwich.
Go ahead, Logan.
No, I think Roman Reigns has gotten a lot better in the ring. Promo-wise, I'm not key on him right now. But this match, again, him and Braun Strowman are really good together, chemistry-wise. So, Braun Strowman is a freaking beast. And these guys did something tonight that we don't get all the time. But it did hurt the main event, and I'll get to that later.
There you have it.
Broski!
There you go.
What did you think of this match? I know you're raring and ready to go on this one.
I love the finish. I love the finish where he goes for the spear and just dives into the fucking ambulance. And then Braun's like, all right, cool, thanks, bro. And then closes the doors. It was so cartoonish, but my God, I was not expecting something like that.
You know why?
I was expecting the spear into the ambulance for the finish. I was so happy when I got the miss spear into the ambulance for the finish.
Yeah. You know why I loved it? Because it's the booking of what everyone on the couch would say, well, just move, and he'd fall in the ambulance. And they did it, and it would make fucking sense to do that. Yeah. I loved it, too.
And Roman, man, I'm not his biggest fan, but props to him. He fucking committed to that dive. He had it there. You should teach Dean Ambrose how to do suicide dives, honestly. Because that was fucking beautiful, like a 9.5 out of 10 easily. That's my favorite part. And then the whole stuff in the backstage area, very Attitude Era-esque, if I can be so bold at saying something that controversial. But I thought it was great with the blood. I thought the blood was a nice addition.
The Jaws
a little
of Life.
realism in there. The Jaws of Life was funny. Jamie Noble was trying to take up a little more place than he should.
If I was going to pick somebody to open that door, it's going to be all 5'7" Jamie Noble.
Guys, soak this in. Soak this in. In the past 30 days on Raw and a Raw pay-per-view, we've gotten Greg Gagne and Jamie Noble making an appearance. Just let that sink in.
That was beautiful.
Oh, can I tell you guys? I said it on my podcast yesterday, but can I tell you guys my Braun Strowman fan fiction about him? About him in the ambulance.
Somebody's vibrators going off.
Well, how appropriate! How appropriate! We start talking about fan fiction. Appropriate. No, but you know how Braun's been showing up to the arenas in ambulances the past couple of weeks. Well, my fan fiction is that he, every time he gets into a new city, he steals an ambulance, goes to the arena, shows up in the ambulance that he stole, does what he has to do, then leaves that night to the next town. Now, when he gets to the next town where the next show's going to be, he ditches the previous ambulance and steals an ambulance from the city that he's in. And he just keeps doing this, and he goes throughout the United States.
Oh, my God.
That's how I justify it to myself, have him showing up in an ambulance.
Runaway ambulance thief.
And it's like an unintentional Lex Express store they make it out to be.
And in my mind, he's always in his gear. He's always in his gear. He never washes. He never changes. He's just like, I'm Braun.
He never washes?
Good morning, honey.
Oh.
Yeah.
I made you breakfast.
That's a smelly Strowman.
He just has a secret bunker somewhere that when he has to go home, he just drives his ambulance in there. He's got like 200 of them. I collect ambulances from the different cities.
And that would into super fans. Instead of waiting in airports for wrestlers, they wait in hospitals for Braun, sign autographs and shit. And then hospitals would complain, and then there'd be, I don't know.
Yeah, as if I didn't think somebody should have been arrested enough for this match. Kristen!
That ending was fucking beautiful. Like the whole, here, let's go and try and spear, and then just fucking right into the ambulance. But the fucking, like you said, Jamie Noble at the end when he fucking crashed the ambulance into the back of the semi. Fucking beautiful.
Well, Jamie Noble didn't crash it. It would have been way more awesome if he just Jamie
not
Noble
Jamie Noble
driving
Roman,
into that thing.
You knew what I meant. But seeing Jamie Noble was a very pleasant surprise because that.
So you like the little guys.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, you didn't say anything on the big guys.
My preference as men has nothing to do with this broadcast, period.
I was just wondering. You talked about vibrators and everything else. You can't talk about your preference
something
in
sounded
men.
like a vibrator. We're not talking about
Jesus,
vibrators.
you can't talk about your preference in men?
It's usually not to get, be the party pooper with the dildo party. It's usually Logan's phone that he never puts on silent. Even though I tell him to, but that's another story.
Ugh.
Well, if that's the case, it is on silent if it's vibrating. But anyways.
That wasn't mine this time.
It wasn't mine, so it was somebody else's.
Maybe that really was my vibrator. Sorry, guys.
But no, that match couldn't have booked it any better. That match was actually pretty surprising. I actually liked it. I didn't think I was going to because I'll admit it, back in my younger days, I was a Roman girl. I'm ashamed to admit that now, but that was fucking beautiful. Like I don't think that match could have been written any better. Overall, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10.
I thought it was good. I thought their match at Payback was tremendous. What, Mike?
Do I get a turn? Or?
Well, yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Never.
Go ahead. Do your thing. Go ahead, then.
Continue.
I mean, everybody got their fucking perspective on this match.
Go ahead.
No, you started. I don't want you to have to stutter.
I was just going to say I thought some spots were sloppy. I thought the Davey Boy Power Slam, his finish usually was botched a millisecond off, something like that. But go ahead, Michael, since you're dying over here to get it in.
Well, I'm sorry.
I let you put the tip in.
I did not. I definitely wouldn't give this match a 9 out of 10. I didn't think this was one of their better matches per se that they've had. I thought they had some better matches before this. I liked the finish until they continued it after the match was over.
When their baby face was coming off like a little baby.
Once again, the baby face cries like a little girl because he lost.
Steve Austin would have done the same fucking thing. Jeez. And I told that to you while we were watching.
So now you're comparing Roman Reigns to Steve Austin.
That's what they wanted you to think when you're watching this. Oh, Roman doesn't care. Like about Steve Austin.
He lost again.
But even if Steve
for the
Austin,
second straight pay-per-view.
Steve Austin beat the shit out of Bret Hart and lost all the time to him and was still the babyface.
After that submission match,
beat Bret Hart.
He didn't come back right after the match was over and just beat the fuck out of Bret.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He did not. He went back to the back, licked his wounds, and then beat the shit out of Bret.
Ew. I pictured something I shouldn't.
You shouldn't. But my biggest problem with this was what happened after the match was over.
Yeah, sorry. You don't want your baby.
It's the same shit they did with Sasha Banks.
But at the same time, you always say the babyface needs to get their heat back. So that's what that is. He got his
babyface
by
needs
far
to get their
his heat back.
See, you're contradicting yourself. The babyface does not need to get heat.
If you want to build a good babyface, especially someone you put as the guy business-wise,
I disagree.
Well,
yeah, but the way to do it for a babyface is something noble, not like, attempted vehicular manslaughter.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't say vehicular
assault with a deadly weapon.
Well, that's what Roman Reigns did.
And that's why I agree.
That's what Roman Reigns did, though. That's your good. Like I put a tweet as soon as that happened. I'm like, this is your good guy.
Your good guy
just tried to kill someone
for an entire episode of Raw and was treated like Jesus Christ.
Steve
walked
Austin
down the street.
was never portrayed like Roman Reigns.
I get
Steve Austin was always portrayed.
But it's not about the character. It's more about just the single angle.
It's what they're trying to do with their PG era. They totally contradicted themselves tonight with Sasha Banks and Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Sasha Banks.
It didn't need to happen twice on the same show.
Sasha Banks committed assault, felony assault. And felony assault with a fucking deadly vagina.
She'll be on more to talk
sexual harassment.
And then you had exactly. Then you had Roman Reigns assault with a deadly weapon, at least, if not vehicular manslaughter attempted. And they're supposed to be the people you get behind.
You know who's awful?
What kind of fucking little kid says, "Oh, he almost killed him in that ambulance"?
I don't know if you've been reading the chat, Michael. He's being suspiciously quiet. We got some Logan fans in the house tonight. I feel like we're not giving Logan enough time to get his 2 cents. I apologize, man. Logan.
The shock in your voice is.
When the fuck did he have a fan?
Go look in the chat. We got a couple pallies in there.
Jesus,
tell us to let Logan talk. And I'm behind the chat.
Can I finish my opinion without you pissing me off?
I'm thanking everyone for stopping by the chat.
Jesus. All you have to do is say the
word
Logan.
Do you ever stop using profanities and yelling at me anymore at this point? 72 fucking
What is my job then?
Good fucking point, touche. Anyway, Logan, where do you see? I know it's Roman, and I thought that was lame. No matter who won this match, Roman was the number 1 contender anyway.
Why can't Braun just go over?
That's I wanted Braun and Brock so bad at SummerSlam, Logan, and it looks like we're not getting
Why
it.
can't Braun just go over? Why does there always have to be this thing at the end where fucking Roman gets over, like they did last time on a pay-per-view match at Payback when Braun won clean? Then the next night, Braun is gone because Roman beat the shit out of him. And Roman gets magically put in this fucking 6-man title match. Now, it was already announced before this match that Roman is the number 1 contender at SummerSlam. He loses to Braun Strowman. He's still the number 1 fucking contender? Are you kidding me?
Because Vince has a fucking hard-on for him. We're all
Jesus! How are we supposed to get behind a guy that hasn't earned a fucking thing as far as booking goes, and he's still the number 1 contender?
And the best part is he just named himself number 1 contender.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I'm getting a title shot. This is my yard.
I haven't won against this guy in 2 pay-per-views, but I'm the number 1 contender at SummerSlam.
It's literally like they booked it like beating Taker and retiring him. It gives you like the purple fucking heart.
Exactly.
And you're like this entitled hero for the rest of your life.
Has he won a match since Taker?
Gee, it's shocking they did that, isn't it?
Has he won a pay-per-view since Taker? No. He has not.
No, but
why
pal,
is he
look how
good
he looks with his
Sorry,
muscles.
I get excited.
Oh, pal, look at him. His hair's all wet.
Yeah. The girls around the world love him. He looks like Fabio.
Get him a boss man vest, ASAP.
Jesus. Get him a red vest. And then tomorrow night I want him wearing blue.
Mix it up. Get damn millennials have no attention span. Logan.
Those vests are fucking expensive.
Was this a hit or a miss for you, this match, at the end of the day?
It was a hit. I think Braun Strowman should go over. Mike was right about that. I'm just because it's your yard, you shouldn't be a number 1 contender. You should earn that shit. And just like the Fatal 5-Way at Extreme Rules, people had to earn their way. So all of a sudden, a month or 2 later, we're here, and you're gonna say I'm the number 1 contender, and I didn't even beat anybody for it. What kind of sense does that make for them to even have the Fatal 5-Way at Extreme Rules like they did? So at the end of the day, come on now. Braun should go over. Braun looked like a fucking beast. And I'm just going to say it right now, I'd much rather see Braun versus Brock at SummerSlam.
Thank you.
Not even for a belt. Traction match. It should have been Joe and Finn, in my opinion, for the belt. That's
Why does Finn Balor deserve a title match?
Why not?
because
he never lost.
Well, let's
belt.
see.
He never lost his fucking
He's
belt.
the one who lost the Fatal 5-Way match clean to Samoa Joe. And he wasn't even on the goddamn card tonight. Why is he the number one contender?
He gets a pass
Michael.
because he never lost his belt.
He never lost his belt.
How many matches does he have to lose before he's out of the title picture?
That's a good point, on the other hand. Go ahead.
Christ, he loses clean to Samoa Joe. He wasn't even on the card tonight. For fuck's sake, let's just make this guy magically... Oh my God, what? Who the fuck makes these decisions? Why do we watch television then if these guys aren't on TV winning matches to earn a title shot? How do these rankings work? It's almost as bad as like college basketball rankings. Well, Gonzaga beat a fucking Division II school by 20 points, so they should be the number one ranked team in the country, even though we know they're not going to even make it to the Final Four. But we're gonna rank them number one in the country. It's fucking stupid. Why can't wrestling make sense at all? What happened to wrestling? It used to make sense. A guy got a number one contender shot. He was a number one contender because guess what? Every time you saw the guy on television, he won.
And he earned it. He earned that opportunity.
That's what I'm saying.
Now
He earned it by winning, not by losing.
And that's why I actually agree with you again, Michael. Finn Balor doesn't deserve it. He would have to win a couple. He would have to get a couple wins in order for me to say, hey, he should be the number one contender.
But if they want to play that game with their cake and eat it too with Roman, I'll do that like with my fantasy booking. At the end of the day, it's like they can't just do that for a guy, and they only cater to certain guys like a part-timer Roman at the end of the day. Let's be honest. Maybe a Rollins you could say, but it's not like he's been lighting the world on fire since the Triple H.
Well, Rollins was winning matches until tonight.
And even then, it's great. I did like the Triple H stuff at Mania, but even as an unsanctioned match and blah, 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 it wasn't an official match. It just didn't, it felt like it deserved to be, I don't know, something more than what it was at the end of the day. As good as it came off, I thought, for the most part, but I don't know.
Well, let's look at all the people in the Fatal 5-Way. You had Bray Wyatt, who...
Nope.
Until tonight, hadn't won a...
Yes, so that was automatic,
Samoa Joe, who won the match.
We both pretty much thought.
So he got his shot.
Yeah.
And... Yeah.
Roman Reigns, who beat The Undertaker, but then lost to Strowman right after WrestleMania.
Finn Balor.
And then lost to him again tonight. Okay? Finn Balor hadn't won a meaningful one-on-one any kind of match since he'd won the belt.
And Seth Rollins, who besides beating Triple H at Mania, has been just getting the shit beat out of him by Joe and Triple H all year.
But he's won matches against Joe.
Yeah.
If I was going to pick a number one contender for SummerSlam, it would have been Seth Rollins, because until tonight, he had actually won matches consistently.
Well, they're sticking to their guns, going with.
But magically,
Brock is their draw.
Magically,
that's what they want to do.
Because it's Roman Reigns. He was the number one contender for SummerSlam.
It's I guess it's the biggest money match in their eyes they could possibly promote right now with the talent.
It's supposed to be at WrestleMania.
But that's when do they kickstart in these NXT guys as this? These are the new guys now, instead of, I don't want to say always relying on a part-timer like Brock Lesnar, but mix up the fucking guard. You have 2 fucking world title belts now.
Instead of The Miz winning the Intercontinental title, why couldn't he have been in that Fatal 5-Way
on the other
match?
hand, I get that. Yes, it's great to see Jinder Mahal. It's great. But tell me that couldn't be Styles in place of Orton right now. At least Styles. But anyway, guys, because we're running out of time. Mike, we are running out of time. Let's get through the main event. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. This whole build, guys. I'll start with Kristin. Or who did we not get in last? Broski. I don't think we thrown it to since like the second match. So
you throw it to whoever you want, buddy.
I thought the build was tremendous to this. Whoever wants to jump in, it doesn't matter this late in the show.
Main event, Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar.
As tremendous as the build was, I knew the match was going to disappoint me, because I knew going in, because it was a fantasy match for so many years for a lot of us, that we were going to put the bar too high. And that was the case. Not terrible. I did love Joe attacking him from behind Michael to start, putting him through the table spot with the Sambo suplex or the bookend, whatever you want to call it, was cool looking. It was executed well. The finish definitely didn't do Joe any favors. 1 F5 it took. That was shocking, considering Joe quite frankly, dominated most of the match. It wasn't a lot of back and forth. A couple suplexes here or there. I was disappointed.
All this build.
Same
thing
build.
they did with Goldberg.
They got us again. They got us, Michael. And it's moments like this, it just leaves that bad taste in your mouth when you're like, you feel dirty and you need a shower because WWE got you. It's like they're going to, I don't know. I don't know. Broski, how did the main event pan out for you considering the build and everything going into it?
I agree with a lot of what you just said. The build was tremendous, one of the best builds in quite some time. But I don't know if it's because we had unrealistic expectations. Because I knew going in that Lesnar was going to win. There was no way that Joe was going to win because of how SummerSlam is panning out and all that. And we know Roman's the golden boy. And we know that the money match apparently is Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So I knew that Joe wasn't going to win. So that right off the bat took me a little bit out of this particular match. Now, the build was really good. But I agree with you, especially on the finish. 1 F5, seriously? After Joe just kicked Brock Lesnar's ass for what? The match wasn't that long, was it? It was like 15 minutes.
And plus, not for nothing, every time they were on TV and the build to this, Joe came out looking dominant every fucking time.
Yeah. And then Brock gets his ass kicked, tosses Joe around a couple times, nothing too crazy, hits an F5 and it's over? Really? After Joe looks so dominant? The entire feud and the entire match? That's all it takes? When John Cena can go out and, and like kick out of everything on a fucking random SmackDown? Yeah. Why would you ruin Joe like that? Why would you hurt him that way? He was doing so good.
Kristin,
I don't know. It's an awkward position to put Joe in anyway. It's like a transition feud to get Brock to where he needs to be. But they had a chance to make Joe a big star, and I don't really think they capitalized all the way with how this match went down.
I don't see how this finish.
How did this help Joe?
That's what I was going to say. I don't see Kristin.
Exactly.
How did this Joe any favors? What's your 2 cents on the main event?
Now I know backstage they might think, oh, well, Joe dominated the match. That's how it helped Joe. No, it didn't. But that's my opinion. Kristin, the first lady of wrestling.
Now you're making me sound like a lady boy with no.
First lady boy of wrestling.
No, I said
Pat Patterson was that man once.
Definitely didn't say lady boy because Travis has had 1 or 2 of them before.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that the snack cast? Wait.
That was on your video game podcast. And I got yelled at because I said it didn't sound like a girl.
At the ending. Like,
go ahead.
They gave such a build-up with the fucking... Am I the only one that really wanted to see Heyman fucking turn on Brock and fucking team up with Samoa Joe?
Yeah, we just said that last night on the prediction show that's what I would have done. I would have either done that or just have Braun cost Brock the match because he never got his heat back when he got injured, when he just went away. It seemed like they were building to something with Brock, and the crowd ate that shit up every time, but I don't feel like we're going to see that now.
Yeah. Right, no. That would have been beautiful too, but just overall, it didn't really grab me like that. Like, they gave this whole fucking build-up with fucking... I don't remember if it might have been Eric that posted the video. I'm not sure of that, but I'd seen something on Twitter where fucking Brock Lesnar being choked out from behind by Samoa Joe and just the fucking Titanic playing in the background. I don't know if that was you, Broski.
No, it was A Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
It's a great
Thank you.
Video.
But yes, okay, I knew it was some like.
Yeah.
I knew it was something.
It was "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend."
Yes, thank you. Thank you for correcting me on that.
That's a great
that
song.
was beautiful. But
thank you.
Overall, like, that shit kind of pissed me off. Like, they gave such a build up to Joe that I honestly wanted him to go over. Like, he was great in NXT, but I feel like this was kind of a waste tonight. Like, what was the point of having him lose to Brock? Why? I didn't really see a point to that. Overall, like, you gave him such a build-up and such a hype, like choking out fucking Paul Heyman, fucking choking out Brock from behind, fucking the feuding in the ring where he fucking beat the shit out of him. Yep. He took it out of the ring, he beat the shit out of him again. What was the point of having him build up and beat the fuck out of him so many times?
I can't remember another angle, Michael, where anybody got to Brock more than this. I know...
Other than Goldberg.
Other
than Goldberg, right.
I feel like they're trying to make the more and more they have Brock on TV now, they're trying to make him look more and more human. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do here, is because they spent so much time making this guy look like the fucking like the ultimate fucking wrestler,
like Thanos,
like they did what they did with him in CM Punk, what they did with him in Triple H, what they did with him in almost everybody, with the Undertaker. He ended the Undertaker streak. Now it's almost like they're trying to make him look human.
Yeah. They're taking him down to where he was when he was losing to Triple H at Mania and stuff. Yeah, when he beat Taker, then they made him fucking invincible for like a year.
Yeah.
Like more.
Like
maybe,
his first match back when he came in the company, when he just came in and lost to Cena. Like that was his first match back. He came in and lost to Cena. I was like, I think I was right next to you, and then I was like, well, what the fuck was the point of that?
Michael, where do you see Joe going from here? Before we get to Logan and get out of here tonight.
Well, Joe...
Mid-card.
I would love to see Joe and Finn Balor again.
Broski says mid-card. Hashtag mid-card city for Joe, Michael?
I would love to see Joe and Finn Balor again. Possibly for something that means anything. Like maybe tomorrow on Raw maybe they change their mind on the number one contender for SummerSlam. Maybe Kurt Angle says, I never said Roman was the number one contender. We're going to have a fatal four-way tonight for the number one contender. You know,
or maybe they take it away from him.
Where they have Joe, Finn Balor, they have Bray Wyatt who just won. And then maybe
somebody else. The Drifter. Fuck it.
Braun Strowman.
No, fuck you.
Braun is hurt. Braun can't wrestle on Raw tomorrow. If they do that, that's asinine. Braun is... Well, they could, though. That's the thing.
He could be a part of the match at least.
They need to make him... Oh, my God, he's here. They'll probably do that.
Anybody but the Drifter.
But I would have it to a point where it sets up a possible feud with Joe and Finn Balor, because we've seen great matches with them in NXT. We haven't seen it on the main roster. That's where I would put Joe to be safe, I guess, for SummerSlam. But I'm anxious to hear old Logie Pierogies. Logie! What do you think?
Oh, wow. You guys, you want to hear something? I wonder if Dean Ambrose is sitting in the back wondering why Brock Lesnar couldn't give him a decent, good match.
That WrestleMania match was a shit fest.
This match was better than that.
Well, before I say anything else, Maniac Matt actually told me to say this. For the ones who picked Samoa Joe, he told you for a month. So that's what he said. He told you so for a month that Samoa Joe wasn't going to win.
I was expecting something entertaining, but once again,
did somebody think Samoa Joe was actually going to win? Was that a narrative someone was pushing?
Pretty sure some dumbass in the studio picked him.
You know what? Here's a big bowl. Go fuck yourself. Because I did. Fuck you, Michael.
Travis.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
No, you know what? I thought
you fell for it.
I said that. I said that they got me.
I fell for it too, Broski.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wanted him to win tonight,
so
I
it's more
guess I could be
expected
considered
from
him.
you.
Well, no, I wanted him to win. I just didn't think he would.
That's a fine line too. Comes into play.
Well, Logan's a known dumbass, but the rest of you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
I mean, to be honest.
Thank you for the
Ricky
Morton fire.
I'm just saying, what's Logan's overall percentage on win-loss picks? I feel like if we did fantasy picks in wrestling, Logan would finish last place in our fantasy league.
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking fantasy league. Anyway, man, I want to thank every single one of you on this show tonight so much. Every time you guys help us out and come on, it's tremendous to have you all on. Thank you guys. Real quick, let's start with Kristin. Where can everyone check out one more time on Twitter, all that good stuff before we get out of here?
The First Lady bitch.
Hang on. I was say Logan had something to say.
Oh,
and did we get the pay-per-view, did we?
The pay-per-view's over, Logan. What do you have to say?
He said we didn't rate it. It was a B+. Just like Daniel
we're
Bryan.
supposed to grade it.
B+ from Broski. I'll give this pay-per-view a solid. I'll give it a B+ too. You know, I'm fucking good show. Surprisingly good for me.
I'd give it a B+. It, there were some hit or miss moments, but overall it wasn't bad. So yeah, B+.
Neither one of you now are allowed to say B+.
No, if anybody says B+, I'm calling fucking foul. How dare you piggyback on my rating? I don't even. I didn't mean.
Okay, I didn't mean.
I don't even like ratings.
I gave it a B-. And the last thing I want to say is
way to think out the box there, and fucking Eric Bischoff and your fucking
the Braun storyline with the ambulance spot.
Judging.
The Braun storyline with the ambulance spot was to make fans forget about a part-timer won again tonight.
The fuck is an ambulance? How many times do we have to go over this, Logan? What is an ambulance?
Logan, Michael.
An ambulance.
Logan can
say it like it got some goddamn sense.
What's your grade?
I give it a solid B.
Solid B. So we're all in the B's. All right.
And Logan can have some of the B's nuts. But
don't ever fucking do that again. Jesus Christ. I don't want to end the show on that kind of joke. Kristin, where can everyone check out on Twitter? I'll just one more time.
If you'd like to give me a follow, you can follow me on Twitter at MissMarch89. Eventually, I would like to get my channel up and running. Hopefully with the same name, unless somebody else has already taken it, in which case, fuck you, can suck my dick. But,
is that a true story, by the way? Are you Miss March 89?
No, I was born in 89. I'm not that old.
I was going to say, I might be able to pick up an old Playboy or something. I was just wondering.
If it helps you sleep tonight, sure, pick up an old Playboy.
I was just curious.
No.
I have sex with a very nice vagina on a regular basis.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Kristin, for joining us. And hey, darling, welcome to Slam Pigs. Love having you. And
look, you didn't call her a doll baby? You called her darling.
He's being a gentleman, unlike you, you fuckface.
What the fuck was that laugh, Mike? That was awesome.
that was my Vince McMahon.
The other half of the international sensation zone is the Can't Have the Lights, erotic Erica Martin, Broski for First Thing in the Morning. Thank you, buddy, for joining us. Where can everyone check you out one more time and all your amazing content and all you do?
You can find me on Twitter at MTL Broski. You can find me on YouTube searching First Thing in the Morning or hashtag FTITM. You can check out my Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM. And if you want to, you can give me money every month so I can pay for my Xbox Live and video games on Patreon at patreon.com/FTITM. Done.
Don't forget that second T. It's important.
This man is so goddamn professional. I love it. Yeah, and look for Broski soon on NXT TakeOver next month, I think, man. So can't wait to do that with you.
Taking Logan's job.
Logan will be there too, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, saving the luscious for last. Logan, man.
Luscious Logan Pierogies. Where can we check you
Luscious
out?
Logan Pierogi.
Luscious Logan Pierogies. The man behind Future Pro Wrestling Podcast. Congrats once again. Episode 1 is up, guys. Get over to subscribe. What are you waiting for? Help Logan and Matt out. Where can everyone check you out and all that good stuff?
Check us out on YouTube. Just search Future of Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe today and definitely watch the very first episode. That again, thank you, Travis, for helping out with me and Maniac Matt. And check me out on Twitter at Logan Myers.
What'd I say?
These guys, they went 2.5 hours. You definitely want to check out. It was good stuff. More than, you don't got to think of it.
I mean, I have to listen to Logan talk for over 2 hours.
Well, it's okay. If you check out next week's show, I'm going to be on it. We can just hear my voice and
yes, Kristin will be a guest on the show next week, so definitely get over there and check him out.
I'm kidding, Logan. You know I love you.
Logan, I will talk to you and Kristin this week on Cruise Control. Until then, follow me and Michael on Twitter, Michael at Mike the Slam Pig. And follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki. Check out the reset button, Slam Pig Junior Smack, Cruise Control. Until next time, goodness gracious, it was great balls of fire. See you then. Thanks, guys.